Legend said that there was a mortal being who served the ancient goddess long way before the appearance of a savior who protect and safeguard the world today from evil, and that protector was Onmyoji, one that possessed the power to protect those in need but also banish the evil from the living world. The female mortal whose beauty shine unlike any others, and the male mortals who possess the power to communicate with gods. But one day, these mortals caught up with the incident surrounding with the Princess Kaonilla, but that story was nothing more like a legend, not widely known by the public, as it was the business of the royal court. Welcome to the Trio of Savior class spotlight, featuring Miko, the Shine Maiden, and Kanushi, the God Messenger. Miko is a hidden class that specializes in holy ability with a unique synergy to empower other cleric classes. They possess the ability to protect their ally, but also the ability to punish the evil being. In addition, Miko, the female, wears a white robe known as haiku, with a pair of red hakamas known as hibakama, while Kanushi, the males, wear a garment called kariginus and a hat called ibushi. Their costume and appearance are based on the gender after advancing into the Miko or Kanushi class. Miko possesses 6 different abilities, which include Gohei, Hamaya, Clap, Sweeping, Omikuji, and Kakura. Miko's first ability is called Gohei. It is a close combat ability that hits twice in front of Miko's. In addition, the ability also has 2 passive effects called Mental Recovery and Mental Breakdown. Mental Breakdown increases magic damage received by enemy based on how many buffs are removed with Gohei. Mental Recovery decreases magic damage received by the number of debuffs removed by Gohei when using it on allies. Gohei SP consumption increases proportionally to the number of buffs removed when using it on enemies in PvP content, approximately 100% SP boost per stack. Gohei also has an art attribute called All Gohei, which increases Gohei SP consumption by 100% and remove all buff from all enemies within 100 range. Miko's second ability is called Hamaya. Miko throws a holy arrow at a designated location, inflicting a great amount of holy property damage to enemies for a short period of time. Enemies standing on the top of the arrow location will have their critical resistance greatly reduced. In addition, Miko can unleash a powerful version of Hamaya by combining it with one of the exorcist skill called Entity. Using Entity on top of Hamaya will cause the skill to refresh its duration and set the damage interval from 1 second to 0.5 seconds. Hamaya also has an art attribute called Heal, converting Hamaya from a DPS skill into a healing ground effect ability, healing 5% HP per 0.5 seconds for the next 2 seconds. Miko's third ability is called Clap, a support ability that allows Miko to extend the lifetimes of the nearby installation abilities from the Deputy Statue skill tree. Clap also increases the damage of the old statues for a short period of time. Miko's best support ability is called Omikuji. It is a support buff that randomly selects the effects based on the lot and colors. There are 4 colors available, which include red, blue, green, and purple. Each buff has 25% to spawn. The red color is Great Blessing of Honors, which increases physical and magic damage by 20%. The purple color is Great Blessing of Hope, which increases accuracy, block, and crit rate by 200%. The blue color is Great Blessing of Safety, which increases block, evasion, and critical resistance by 200%. The green color is Great Blessing of Health, which reduces physical and magic damage taken by 50%. Omikuji also has an art attribute called Financial Fortunes, which has 25% chance to draw, and apply 500 loot chance buffs for 30 minutes, and it has 20% chance to prevent equipment durability from being reduced. Miko's last ability is called Kakura or Kakura Dance. Miko starts dancing around and blasts nearby allies with magical damage buff for a short period of time. Kakura Dance also has an attribute called Nightingale Dance, which reduces nearby enemies' critical resistance by 3% per attribute level, and grant party members the ability to ignore the enemy magic defense by 3% per attribute level. The attribute also increased the SP consumption by 30%. Miko offers a lot of tools for both DPS and support roles because there are many ways to build Mikos. Some of the most common class combination would be Mikos, Exorcist, and Crusaders, Miko, Druid and Deputies, and Miko, Krivix, and Black Doctor. The most common skill builds for Mikos is 15 Go Ahead, 15 Hamaya, Nice Whipping, 1 Omikuchi, and 5 Kakura Dance. Miko, Exorcist, and Crusader is known for the amazing piano bursting builds because there is a ton of skill that you have to use in order to synergize the burst combo, such as Hamaya into Aqua combo with Katigazor and Rubik, and then refresh it with Hamanyas with entities, and then follow up with all the Crusader skill. But of course, you have to use Miko Dance and Exorcist Gekore every 15 seconds for the magic damage boost, which can become very annoying. Miko, Druid, and Deputy heavily focus on Out Statue, which is like a summoning build. However, the current skill factor for Deputies might be way too low for the current content, so this build might be not viable anymore. Miko's summoning skill build is different compared to other DPS skill builds because the summoning version heavily focuses on Maxial Clap. The summoning skill builds include 8 Gohei, 1 Swipping, 15 Hamaya, 15 Claps, 5 Kakura Dance, and 1 Omikuchi. And lastly, we have Miko, Krivix, and Black Doctor, which is like a full damage over time build with the Miko red buffs and Kakura Dance to empower the poison and the dodge skill. Miko's has a lot of options for the anchors. Players can actually use the overload for the damage over time builds, Dahlia for the channel build like Exorcist and Crusaders, Arts Imperators for the summoning builds like Out Statue Deputy builds. In terms of the accessory, Caroline and Lucifer Tricker's accessory set would be the best choice for Miko, because Miko is a magic class which influences a lot of magic cleric builds. Moving forward with the Vibora, there are a few options at the moment because Miko does not have their own version of the Vibora to empower the class itself. Now because Miko is either a support or a future DPS class, you can actually use Platinum Vibora to empower the majority of Miko ability by 150%, which is really nice by the way. Exorcist Vibora is another good option as well if you're planning to focus on a burst builds with Crusader class. Crusader Vibora is another good option but not necessarily required. Miko's main art equipment is Divine Retribution thanks to Miko's high skill factor ability like Gohei and Hamaya. These abilities are strong enough to trigger Divine Retribution continuously. Miko core equipments include 3 Gold Mask for red, 2 Zora and 1 Noel for blues, 3 Gazing Golem for purples, and 3 Lucia for green. And lastly, we have Goddess Card. Mikos can either use Solid for AoE burst damage or Delia for single target damage. Hey folks, that is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way until the very end. I was not expecting that it would take me a week or so to make a spotlight videos, but this one is quite challenging to be honest. Anyway, this is Sanochi and I will see you all in the next one. Later!